to that conversation is ANC National Spokesperson Mahlengi Bhengu, who joins me in studio tonight. Good evening to you, ma'am. Thank you very much for making time for us. We don't have much time, so let's get into the matters very quickly. Mr. Steenhuisen says a question about expanding the GNU did not come up in that meeting. Is that the same feedback you have?
Well, I don't believe that, thank you, Polly, for having us. I don't believe that that was the subject matter in this retreat. And of course, if such a matter arose, it will arise among the parties. And the ANC will interact it at the time when it must interact with a matter of that nature.
All right. I'm not going to waste time on that then. So let's move on swiftly to President Ramaphosa's longevity as leader of government. Is that in question? Is that matter a subject of discussion within the ANC's top leadership structures?
Well, you'll have to clarify me with the usage of the word longevity, because the ANC is guided by its constitution that prescribes that the president serves a particular term. And of course, if other things must happen after that, they do happen according to our, our prescripts.
Yeah. All right. So I'll frame it to you this way in order to avoid quoting fellow media colleagues. At one point, the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, did let it out that the president had in fact intended to resign on the question around Phala Phala, but he was prevailed upon by leaders of the party. Now, that sort of discussion seems to have resurfaced again. All I'm asking is that, is there credence to such talk?
Well, it is really less credence to such talk. We've been, scanning the media environment, and we actually are baffled at the idea that the president may resign anytime soon and all of that. The president is serving and serving the country excellently. The recent GNU leaders retreat is testimony to the fact that he's basically holding it tight and locked together in terms of ensuring that there is stability in governance.
Yeah.
From within the ANC, if we just become endogenous about these matters, from within the ANC enjoys a lot of support and respect.
All right. Let's then talk about the ongoing inquiries related to corruption. We know that there's a Madlanga Commission, there's also the ad hoc committee. Has the ANC reached a particular decision around what is happening and what might be the way forward on these commissions of inquiry or these investigations that are ongoing? And if so, what's the plan?
Okay, I mean, I did say this, I think it must have been last week when I was here on your show, Choli, that one thing we're doing is to avoid, sort of running commentary on the work of the commission for obvious reasons, because you want to give it space and all of that. But there are matters that we need to opine on as the work of the commission proceeds. Now, one of those things is what was, alluded to by the Secretary General, where he said, and I quote him, let me paraphrase him, that even during the course of the work of the commission, where decisions must be made about people that must be recused or people that must be suspended, let that be done. That's the position of the ANC. Remember, when the president appointed this judicial commission, he did say in the terms of reference that during the work of this commission, the commission is empowered to make such recommendations even before the conclusion of its work.
So let's not beat about the bush then. The Secretary General seems to be directing his talk around, I suppose, particular individuals within the governing party that may be implicated, there is pressure right now, I'll put it to you that way, that the president must act on his Minister of Police, who is on special leave. Are we going to see anything of that sort?
Well, I don't believe that the Secretary General is directing his talk on anyone. I think he raises matters of principle. And indeed, from the perspective of the ANC, we lean on the executive authority of the president. And the president must apply himself. We do want to see this commission succeed. We do want to ensure that the ANC insulates itself from people that do wrong things using the name of the African National Congress. We are on record. We keep restating this point, and we are going to restate this point ad infinitum. But I can't sit here and say President must do this to Xoli tomorrow. You know, that's really not my space. But what we do say as the ANC is that anyone that has used the name of the ANC to do wrongdoing, they must face the full might of the law.
Well, the party does continue, though, to suffer an image problem. In fact, you were seated here just last week, Monday, and you said the party has a credibility problem. It has a believability problem, particularly when it comes to issues of corruption. And we speak tonight on the back of the court outcomes that seem to have, where Mr. Mantashe has lost his bid to review the Zondo Commission inquiry recommendations, and now he wants to launch an appeal. I'm raising him deliberately because he is a cabinet minister, and he also appears to be a senior leader of your party. Again, corruption, or should we say ANC and corruption, synonymous. When will come a time that the ANC makes a clean break with this?
The ANC is continually making a clean break with corruption. Let me give you examples of people that have stepped aside on the basis of the policy prescripts. We had a case of Thabang Makwetla, former deputy minister, who now is on step aside as a consequence of having been arrested and charged, because that is what our policy says. Our policy does not say that we must work on hearsay. Our policy says that everyone must be given the chance to make representations for themselves within the system of the rule of law in South Africa, making sure that the audi alteram partem rule is given credence. And as soon as that is done, and indeed, you know, if any of the leaders, regardless of who they are, whether it's Gwede Mantashe or any other leader of the ANC, if they are found to be in conflict with the law after having exercised their constitutional rights in law, the processes of the ANC must take shape.
I'll tell you why then the problem of believability or a crisis of believability stays with the ANC. How do you deal with someone like Bheki Cele, who admits at that ad hoc committee that, yes, I spent 2 nights at Ket Matlala's apartment in Pretoria, and I didn't have to declare this to anyone because I'm no longer a government minister. However, he's quickly reminded by his own fellow ANC NEC member, Mdumiseni Ntuli, who says to him, but yes, you may have ceased to be a minister of police, but you don't stop being a leader of our people. So how does the ANC deal with someone like that? He's not charged by any, in terms of law enforcement, he's not charged criminally. So a step-aside rule, how would it apply to Bheki Cele with that kind of admission?
Well, we have the Integrity Commission in the ANC, which is led by eminent persons of the ANC. veterans, amaqala, ANC, the ones that don't bite, don't blink, where standards and ethics are concerned. Begicele, Senzo Mchunu, all of those colleagues are going through that process of the Integrity Commission. So it isn't just about step aside in terms of somebody being charged. We have the Integrity Commission, and I've never had a single South African doubting the standing of that Integrity Commission of the ANC. If I give you names, you can judge for yourselves. And you can judge for yourself as a media outlet. We must allow that commission to be very thorough, to be very surgical in their approach.
All right, final question to you, and it has to be an economics question. The country, in terms of employment, is not doing well. The economy still is not beating fast enough to create jobs. What's the plan, especially coming out of this retreat?
I wonder how did we move from integrity and ethical standards issue to the economy, but I really do welcome this question because it's a fundamental question facing our country. The ANC has a 10-point economic action plan. In fact, my plan is to really bring in the chairperson of the Economic Transformation Committee here, Zuko Kodlimpi, to break it all down. But it includes some of the elements that even John Steenhuisen is talking about. Of course, he's attributing those to the DA. Good luck with that. But, you know, those are the positions of the ANC. Serious program to reindustrialize our country. A serious program to ensure that there's local economic development in all our municipalities, ensuring that the LED strategy of COCTA is cascaded to all our municipalities. A serious program to ensure that minerals beneficiation finally gets to be given the significance that it requires, so that South Africa can stand on its own because of the wealth of our minerals. I could go on and on in terms of those matters in the Economic Action Plan unveiled by the ANC at the last National Executive Committee meeting.
I welcome the commitment to bring Mr. Kodlimpi here, because that's a separate discussion
Quite
that could take us.
Discussion.
Exactly,
Yes,
that could take us time. So let's conclude the conversation on a very important sphere of government. That's local government. I don't want you to campaign here, please, but I have to ask very serious questions of you. I'm limited for time, but local government and where the ANC governs, is there a serious commitment to jack up in terms of the quality of people that are deployed in that space? And I ask you this on the back of what has happened in Ekurhuleni. There's a serious drug problem there that has with it gangsterism. 6 people are dead today. I asked the MMC of Public Safety whether there is a plan, and all she could say to me was that it's a collaborative effort. I didn't want to debate her, but I could tell that I don't think she's able to answer adequately. People are dead. That's the question to you, whether there is seriousness in deploying people of quality in the local government space.
And that is part of the ANC's, and I take this question with the seriousness with which you are posing it, Koli. But let me indicate that the reason that the ANC did a roll call of all its councillors across the country and gave marching orders to councillors that these are the things we're going to focus on, the 6 pillars of the local government action plan that speaks to matters such as the ones that you are referring to. I can't speak for the MMC, but what I can say with authority is that we are really focused on municipalities. You only need to just be active on TikTok, not so much on Twitter, but on TikTok to see the work that's being done by ANC councillors following that roll call. You only need to see what's happening in Johannesburg. As much as some of our media colleagues are trying to be muted around the progress in reviving and fixing Johannesburg, the evidence is there for everyone to see. That forms part of all the decisions taken at that roll call where the president gave marching orders. Clean roads, fixing potholes, fixing street lights, dealing with sewer, basic things that are important for livelihoods of our people. It is being done. Go to Buffalo City, you go to Nelson Mandela, you go to eThekwini. There are varying degrees of success, but our councillors are hard at work. You only just need to go to Tshwane and look at what ANC councillors, remember Tshwane is an ANC-led coalition government. Go and look at our councillors, what they are doing, they're reinforcing Nasipi Moya.
I view that with
work,
a bit of...
well, that work that work is ongoing, honestly.
I'm out of time, but I'm not so sure Action SA is going to agree with you that it is an ANC-led. We're out of time. I'm told we're out of time.
It very much is. and for us, that's not even an issue, by the way. The issue is, let's go to our people. Let us serve them.
Okay. All
Thank you.
Out of time. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Coach.
Mahlengi Bhengu,
Thank you very much.
the national spokesperson of the African National Congress. Well.